But the myth of the quote unquote NDP conservative switcher is the first thing you tackled with your new Substack. Want to walk us through why you think we got it all wrong on this?
Yeah, happy to. And to your previous point about assessing elections afterwards, this is actually the time when you get the best data. When you're heading into elections, people are analyzing public opinion data and making assumptions and models based on a lack of data. Now that we have election results come in, to your point, this is the best time to assess maps and elections and what they mean because you actually have the results. And so I love playing around with this stuff. And so the first essay that I wrote about, to your point, is I was looking at NDP to CPC vote switchers and actually the lack thereof in my argument. And so the point that I made is that when we're looking at the 17 ridings that the NDP lost, yes, 10 of them did go to the Conservatives and only 7 of them went to the Liberals. So if you just look at that line as a top line, you would assume that a lot of those NDP voters went Conservative. But I dug down into the actual ridings themselves, looking at them one at a time. And I found that writ large, the ridings that went from the NDP to the Conservatives, those ridings were actually, first of all, really close ridings to begin with in 2021. These 10 ridings that went NDP to Conservative were actually much closer than the 2021 national average. So adjustments at the margins could have had the Conservatives win. But actually, more importantly, when we look at these 10 ridings that went NDP to Conservative, the drop in NDP support was actually lower than what the NDP experienced in the national average. And even more importantly, the drop in PPC support in these 10 ridings was massive. And so if you take a look at sort of the swings between how many votes the Liberals gained, how many votes the Conservatives gained, how many votes the PPC and the NDP lost in these ridings, just the drop in PPC votes, and one would assume that most of these votes went to the Conservatives, they could have made up more than half of the 2021 margin the Conservatives could have with just PPC voters. And